Finally, spoilers for JJK new chapter are out after almost a month. As you already know, Gege was sick for a long time, and for that reason, this manga was on hold. But finally, everything is fine. After a month, JJK's chapter 263 spoilers have arrived. Wait, that should be spoilers of 263. But here the official is saying that this is not a spoiler of chapter 263. This chapter is being called chapters 262 part 2. Because inside the last chapter, there were only 7 pages. And there are 13 pages inside this chapter. So maybe the official is combining both the chapters and telling it into one chapter. I hope you got the point. For now it is chapter 262 part 2 and there are only 13 pages inside it.
Let's start the spoilers. Before this, what did we see in the last chapter? Let me remind you a little because it's almost been a month. Maybe you guys might have forgotten that in the last chapter we saw Sukuna versus Yuta with GOJO'S body. Both used their domain expansion and Yuta used a shrunken barrier there. Because in GOJO vs Sukuna round 1, we observed that this small barrier domain is the best possible way to counter Sukuna's domain, because it can withstand the effect of Sukuna's domain for approximately 3 minutes. Yuta was saying that within this 3 minutes, I will damage Sukuna so much that Sukuna will not be able to maintain his domain. And on the other side, Sukuna was saying that I do not need 3 minutes here. I will destroy the unlimited void here, and by expanding my domain, I will pull as many sorcerers inside and kill them instantly. And then we saw Sukuna was using domain amplification with domain expansion and bypassing GOJO'S infinity and punching Yuta. And in the last panel we saw Rika is holding Yuta empty body, and with this the last chapter was over. And I hope by now you guys have remembered what happened in the last chapter a month ago. So let's talk about the spoilers of the latest chapter. In the beginning of the chapter we come to know that right now Yuta will not be able to use any other curse technique except GOJO'S Limitless. And Yuta notices that ever since Sukuna lost his left hand, he was not able to use the world cutting slash. And Yuta also starts thinking that Sukuna currently has no way to overcome Limitless. Then using domain amplification, because currently Sukuna is countering Limitless by using domain amplification. Then from this panel we come to know that when Sukuna lost his left arm, he has not been able to use world cutting slash since then. And here he needs world cutting slash to overcome Limitless, but he is not able to use it at that moment. He is using domain amplification which can bypass Limitless, which is why Sukuna punched GOJO in the last chapter. Further, we saw Yuta suddenly picks up Sukuna, kicks him and throws him away, and then gives a dangerous punch on Sukuna's head. But Yuta is having difficulty in maintaining GOJO'S body because GOJO has long legs and long arms, and Yuta was having a hard time to control GOJO'S body. Come on, this was expected. Further, we saw Yuta. Yuta realizes that he won't be able to master GOJO'S Limitless with just the switch training, and then Yuta says, I found out why the 6 eye is important. And the Yuta then recalls a brief flashback of GOJO, where GOJO was saying it's okay, I am the strongest, and Yuta starts thinking that GOJO said it with so much confidence. How much courage did he need for this? Sukuna now notices that Yuta is struggling with GOJO'S curse technique, and Sukuna asks Yuta that he really has the time to do all this. It's time for him, and he says this and throws him away with a punch. After this we come to know that Kenjaku had informed Sukuna in advance about Yuta's copycat technique. The requirement is that if a body part is consumed by Rika or eaten by her, then Yuta can copy anyone's technique. But further, Sukuna starts wondering whether Yuta will be able to use all the curse technique which Yuta has copied before. But suddenly Sukuna realizes that Yuta can only use Limitless and no other curse technique that he has copied. Further, Sukuna starts wondering how long will Yuta copy's curse technique will last. Sukuna was also wondering with Yuta inside GOJO'S body after the technique. Is it going to remain still or not? Sukuna was thinking, what if Yuta doesn't know what will happen next? Sukuna remembers GOJO'S hollow purple, and he slowly starts to realize what Yuta's next move will be. After all this, in the next panel we see a little bit of GOJO and Yuta training flashback. We saw Yuta and GOJO after the swap training is over. GOJO tells Yuta that his curse technique is too inconsistent, but Maki comes in between and says that GOJO, you are too strict. The small flashback ends and we come to the present time. We see Yuta finally starts using enchantment to use Hollow Purple, but Sukuna immediately grabs Yuta's hand, catches him and throws him far away with one punch. Sukuna was saying to himself, I will not let Yuta use Hollow Purple. Next we saw Yuta use GOJO'S technique Blue, and suddenly a sound in front of Sukuna's ears. The recorder comes flying when Inumaki shouts, English or Spanish, and Sukuna gets shocked and freezes. I'm just joking, he shouts, don't move, and Sukuna freezes over there. On the other side we see Yuta completes the enchantment of Hollow Purple and gets Hollow Purple loaded in his fingers, which is ready to fire on Sukuna at any moment. Understanding the situation, Inumaki uses his curse technique on Sukuna through a recorder. For that reason, Sukuna is completely freezed. He is unable to move, and on the other side, Yuta is ready to use the Hollow Purple. And Sukuna is going to get a direct hit because Sukuna will not be able to defend himself at the moment, and along with the chapter ends. I know the chapter came after almost a month and it is only 13 pages. Gege's health is a little bad. In the last, the editor recommends unleash your teacher's ultimate technique, meaning Hollow Purple is most likely going to hit Sukuna. We know it. And yes, that is a good news for you. There is no break next week, so we are going to see another chapter, and these are just spoilers. There may be some translation errors, some extra things may be added, so what you will have to do is you will have to wait till the next chapter review. For that, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. What is your opinion on the spoilers of the entire chapter? You guys can tell me in the comments. And the second time Sukuna is going to take Hollow Purple here, is Sukuna going to last this time, or Sukuna gonna get destroyed everything else? Feels right to me, but one thing I don't like, and that is Yuji's moment. Yuji was doing so much and was shining, and suddenly Yuji and Todo both disappeared together. I don't know when the writer is going to bring back Yuji. No idea whether his power is going to be shown now or not. In my opinion, after the time limit of 5 minutes is over, then Yuji will become relevant again. This is the main character who has again become a side character from 3-4 chapters. Please tell me your opinion in the comments. Thank you so much for watching this video. See you in the next video.